The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did the transactions, the rates lock at on Friday? Well, conventional 30-year fix, 6.756. That was down. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.95. That was up. FHA 30-year fix, 6.445. That was up. VA 30-year fix, 6.26. That was down. USDA rural areas, generally no down payment, 30-year fixed, 6.379. That was down. Want me to tell you how you can get 1 or 2% off on any one of those rates I just shared with you? Stick around, we'll tell you. If you want our market thoughts every morning as early as the data allows, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. We do give you what our thoughts are each and every morning, each and every business day morning. Again, as early as the data allows, and we can get the report put together. rsrlinks.com/market minute. Let's see what the rates are, what's happening in the markets today. Let's see, we've got the S&P 500 now is down 24.7. 10-year Treasury down 10 basis points, 4.29. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up 26 basis points. Remember, when the bond goes up, the rates go down. Why is all of this happening? Well, it's all leading up to a lot of news this week. So we've got the election tomorrow. It might drive some of the news companies nuts because there's a lot of questions as to whether we'll have an outcome tomorrow night. And boy, every news station is going to be running programming all night long with guess who breathed, inhaled, and guess who exhaled, and all of that stuff. So we're going to be watching all of that for you. Who knows if we'll have an answer by tomorrow night or not. So after a 4-week period that saw Trump trade dominate, which was good for stock and bad for bonds, Kamala Harris saw some momentum over the weekend, and we're seeing the reverse of some of those trades this morning. Only one thing is certain. It's a tight race, and there will likely be a lot of volatility this week, especially with the Fed also meeting and releasing their statement and decision on Thursday. And I'm going to tell you what their decision is going to be right now. You don't even need to watch what they say Thursday. So I had been forecasting that there would be a 50 basis point cut. Unfortunately, I am not going to be correct. It's going to be 25 basis points. Why do I know that? Why do I have such a high confidence? Well, there was a report in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. The Fed mole, that would be Nick Timiraos. He came out and made that comment. And whenever we hear the comments from the Fed mole, it's basically just telling us that's what's going to happen. We don't have to ask anymore. So Timiraos came out and said that we're going to have a 25 basis point cut. 98% chance on the Fed futures markets as a 25 basis point cut. Inflation coming down toward the Fed's target, albeit it's not going to be a straight line. The data in the economy has been conflicting. Strong GDP data growth, strong GDP growth, strong ADP employment, weak BLS jobs report, weak beige book that the Fed considers as their business contacts against published data. A lot of chaos. But I'm going to share with you one of my favorite sources of data. And it's, again, as I've said many, many times, if you want to really get good data, you got to pay for it. And it's not going to be just coming from some of these people that are talking heads that have an agenda. And I will share with you almost every one of the folks that are on any channel. Doesn't matter. MSNBC, hee-haw, you know that's always going to be a progressive station. They're going to tell you everything that the progressives want to hear from you. You're going to hear on Fox News, although their ownership now, the younger generation, is not nearly as conservative as the older generation was. But I pay for a subscription to someone named Danielle DiMartino Booth. It's the Daily Feather. And she comes out with just the stats. You can interpret them however you want to interpret them. But in a report this morning, October non-farm payroll report showed a 12,000 increase, way below expectations. Private payrolls declined by 28,000. Significant job losses, even accounting for the strike-related impacts. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that adverse weather affected 512,000 workers, though they were still counted as employed. Figure that one out. Durable goods manufacturing saw zero revisions in employment figures, but continues to show job reductions every month, making a potential recession signal. The Institute of Supply Management's October manufacturing survey reflected sustained demand and employment contraction. Global economic weakness affects export orders, with only the food, beverage, and tobacco showing growth. Food, beverage, and tobacco. Guess those are things you have to have. Of course, they're going to grow. Staffing sector, these are the temps sector, faced a steep decline, with the October marking the worst cycle for contract job losses since the Great Recession. And Boeing, guess a strike doesn't always mean good news. They had a temporary layoffs for 17,000 employees. They made those permanent now. So not good news in a lot of different areas if you think high employment is good. So be aware, that's just what we're seeing right now. We also have Realtor.com. They've released their inventory data. Active listings are up 29.2% from last year, which sounds like a big increase. To put things in perspective, inventory is still tight in most areas and is 21% lower than pre-pandemic, more normal levels nationwide. There are now 6 states that have higher inventory levels than 2019, including Tennessee at plus 14%, Texas plus 13%, Arizona plus 11%, Florida plus 10, Colorado plus 7, Idaho plus 6. One thing of note is that a lot of the states with higher inventory levels are seeing some of the largest population growth due to immigration. New homes now make up 28% of total sales, down from a high of 34.4% in early 2022. But normal is around 10%. We're seeing the share of new home sales on a relative base to existing come down as we see more existing home inventory in the market. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for a new home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990.